Well, the Tigers are not making me happy this year.
What?
I think it was our preseason episode, maybe a month ago, where I pointed out that it was key for the Tigers not to get off to the same start that they did last year. They got off to a 9-24 start that buried them for the rest of the season, as they spent the next 5 months over 500 every month, and yet still were nowhere close to a playoff berth. Unfortunately, the Tigers have decided to do the exact same thing. They are now 9-23. With a loss tomorrow, they will be the same 9-24. Maybe they can change the whole mojo tomorrow, hopefully, and not get to that dreaded 9-24 mark. But the Tigers just cannot hit. It is embarrassing. It is incredibly frustrating. It's a brutal watch. As Tigers have, there's so many crazy stats, but the craziest one I saw was they have scored only 3 times in the first inning of any game this year out of the 32 games they played. It's pointed out that that's the only time where you have your number 1, number 2, and 3 hitters set up the way you want, the perfect way, and yet they've only found a way to score 3 times in the first inning. Last week they're playing tough competition, and this is why I was worried about this first month. They played the Dodgers, and they were in Houston, and they had the A's this week, which I'll get into, which should have been where I thought they were going to get right. But in Houston this weekend, they lost not one, not two, but 3 different games. The final score 3-2, and they found different ways to get to that score. They had a lead in 2 of those games and blew it. But it was just so fucking frustrating to be losing games by 1 run where you can't score more than 2 runs on your own. The only respite was game 4 where they lost 5-0. So at least they didn't lose 3-2. I was able to tune out of that game early after they, I forget who it was, gave up a grand slam, which would have been a grand slam and would have been a home run in only 2 ballparks. Houston, or I forget what the other one was.
Yankee
Houston.
Stadium, probably.
Yeah,
Who's under fire for cheap home runs.
Yeah, it was something like that. I mean, Houston's got the weird ass miniature golf course wall that's super close, either in right field or left field. I forget which it is. And then they've got the train that comes out when they hit home runs. These fucked up fields with their ridiculous dimensions are just driving me crazy. But what can you do? If anything is going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong for the Tigers this month. But hopefully they can turn it around soon.
Word Hole Media.